Hello students, let me welcome you to a lesson in Standard 3rd EVS through the Virtual Training Center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. This is a lesson under the work from home sessions and my name is Shraddha teacher and we have been meeting here regularly to learn beautiful and nice lessons in EVS. So today also we will be learning a very beautiful lesson, a very informative lesson in EVS. It's going to be very interesting because we are going to learn about our village and our city. So this is an example or an image of a village and this is an image of a city. So by looking at the picture itself, you will be able to see that there are a lot of differences between a village and a city. So a village is a small place and a city is a much larger place, isn't it? Not only the size, but there are many other differences also as far as village and city are concerned. So we are going to look at all those differences. We are going to look at the different means of transport. Transport means the way in which you go from one place to another. We will talk about all the different means of communication and we are also going to talk about some languages in this lesson. So like I told you in the beginning, this lesson is going to be very interesting because you're going to learn many interesting things here. So let's start by learning about our village, our city and many more other things. So what is a village, children? See, these are all images of a village. So in a village you will be able to see lots of trees, you will be able to see lots of animals, okay? You will be able to see small houses and generally you will be able to see nature. See here? And see, you will see the people also are different. People who live in a village are also different from people who live in cities. That is when we see the dresses etc. you will come to know. Okay, this is one more image of a village for you. So like I told you, in a village the houses are smaller and you will see a lot of animals and you will not see a lot of tall buildings. Okay, you will not see any tall building here, but you will see a lot of trees. You will see a lot of greenery. Okay, now let us look at a city. So this is how beautiful a village looks like. Let's look at a city now. So in a city you will be able to see a lot of crowd, too many people, isn't it? Tall buildings and sometimes a little dirty places also, like you can see over here. You will see a lot of vehicles in a city. This is what we did not see in the village. Okay, vehicles means you will see trucks, you will see cars, you will see buses in a city. Whereas in a village we saw images of a bullock cart. So we saw lots of animals there. Whereas here you will see no animals. You will see only cars and bikes and trucks and buses in a city. And also you will be able to see tall buildings. In the village we saw small houses. In a city you will be able to see tall buildings. Okay, so now there are a lot of differences between the city and the village like we saw. So let us look at a few differences. So the first difference we will see is in the houses. So see, this is a village house, a house in a village. It is little smaller and it is made up of you can say raw things like mud, like tiles, wood, isn't it? So made out of simple things, a village house, and also smaller in size, and the house is also a very simple and common kind of a thing. Look at the house in a city. It is so huge, and look at the materials which are used to build this house. See, you cannot see any wood used over here. You cannot see any mud. It is all cement and concrete and iron, isn't it? So there is a lot of difference as far as houses in villages and houses in cities are concerned. And look at the clothes that the people wear in the villages. See the lady, what else she has worn? But people in the cities, they wear different kind of clothes. Okay, so whatever you wear when you are in a village, it will be different, and when you live in a city, it will be different according to the life there. And even the means of transport are different as far as the village and city are concerned. Look at these people here. The first one is a farmer, and the farmer, he lives in a village. So what kind of vehicle does he think about? He thinks about a tractor which he uses for his farming purpose, isn't it? And then you have a person who lives in a city thinking about cars and thinking about aeroplanes, etc. So means of transport are also different as far as a city and a village are concerned. See, all these means of transport are used in villages. So you have bullocks, you have elephants in some places, camels in deserts, you have horses, mules, you have donkeys, which people use in the villages or in the rural areas. There is another name for villages, children, and that is rural areas. Okay, so the means of transport are very simple and they don't have use of too many machines, whereas in a city, if you see all these things, you have a bullock cart, you have an elephant, you have a camel, a horse, a donkey, whereas this is a bullock cart. Okay, let me show you how these animals are used in a village. So bullock carts are there are horse carts also. So most of the time in villages, animals are used for the purpose of transportation, like we saw in the first picture, isn't it? In the village there were lots of animals, and in the cities there were lots of cars and buses on the road. So in villages people make use of animals, whereas in the cities we have ships, okay, sailing in the waters and connecting people who live in various cities. We have people riding motorbikes, or even people driving around in cars, or as we call them, automobiles. We have people going to one place, from one place to another in trains. Okay children, so you know this name of this train, Thomas and Friends. These kind of trains are found in the cities. Nowadays our country has become modern, so these trains, they go even to the villages, okay? But normally inside a village you will not find a train or cars or other modern means of transport. You will find animals and used as means of transport. And then you must have seen this also you can see only in a city. This is an aeroplane. It flies in the sky. See how it is taking off. It starts running on the ground and then it flies into the sky. Okay, and after it has finished its flight, it again lands on the ground. Can you see how it is a landing on the ground? So like a bird, it flies off and it comes and lands down. So this is also a modern means of transport used by people in cities. Aeroplanes, isn't it? So these are all the means of transport which people in cities use. Aeroplanes, cars, trains, buses, etc. Let us try and match now certain means of transport to the places where they are used. So the first one is a bullock cart. So where do you think people go around in a bullock cart? On a kacha rasta. See, a rough village road. The second one is a boat. So where do boats sail? Yes, they sail in water. A train, it runs on a railway track. Buses run on pakka roads. Can you see a good concrete road? Aeroplanes, they fly in the sky like birds. And a truck also runs on a concrete or a pakka road. So these are the means of transport which we generally use in villages and in cities. Out of all of them, you will see that the small boat and the bullock cart, people living in villages, they make use of it, whereas people living in cities, they make use of trains, they make use of buses, planes, trucks, etc. for transporting people and service and things. Okay? Now let us talk about communication. Communication means getting information. So can you tell what grandfather is reading? What is grandfather in this picture reading? See here, what is this? He's reading a newspaper. So the grandfather, our grandfather here in the picture, is reading the newspaper. What is he getting from the newspaper? He is getting some sort of information, news from the newspaper. Let us look at the next picture now. What is Tai using for some information? Who's Tai? Tai is this girl who's sitting here. Okay? Tai means Didi. So what is Tai doing for getting some information? She's making use of the computer. Alright, the Tai, our Tai is using the computer. What is she getting from the computer? From the computer also she's getting a lot of information. Then let us see how communication is taking place. So what is grandmother watching? See, grandmother sitting on the floor and cleaning some vegetables. At the same time she's watching something interesting and she's getting some information from there. What is she watching? She's watching the television. When you watch the television also, you get a lot of news, you get a lot of information, isn't it? So all these are means of communication. Let us look at the next picture also. What is Dada listening to? Dada means elder brother. So what is Dada listening to and what has he put in his ears? So see, this is our Dada sitting and he is listening to music. And what is put in his ears? These are earphones, isn't it? Which we use to listen to music. So see, they are getting information from so many different things. From the newspaper, from the computer, from the TV, okay, from music or from the phone. So these are all means of communication, children. Let us look at one more question. Who's at the door and what is mother taking from him? Who's at the door? So there is a postman at the door. And what is he giving Mama? He's giving Mama the letter, isn't it? He's giving Mama a letter, and when she opens the letter and she reads it, she will get some information, some communication. So all these, children, are different types of means of communication. Whether it is a newspaper, the TV, etc., all these are means of communication. So see, these are all the different means of communication. So we use letters, we use newspapers, we use mobile phones, we use the television, we use the computer and so many other things to get information. And all these things, children, are called means of communication. When we go from one place to another, it is called transport. But when information or news goes from one place to another, it is called as in communication. Okay, transport and communication. So there are so many things. Can you see? All these are called as means of communication. The letter, the newspaper, the TV, the radio, everything. These are all means of communication. And when you want to talk to someone, when you want to tell someone something, that is also communication. So what do you use to tell? How do you tell someone something? You make use of language. So language is also an important means of communication, or it is a, you can say, medium of communication. You transport, you give ideas, you tell your ideas to someone else using languages. Alright? So Marathi is the state language of Maharashtra. We all know, na? Marathi is the state language of Maharashtra. But Marathi also has got different, you can say, dialects. Dialects means the way it is spoken. So one language can be spoken in different ways. So that is called as the dialect of that particular language, isn't it? So see, in Konkan, people speak Malwani, even that is Marathi, but it is a little different from pure Marathi. It is called as a dialect of Marathi, or we call Boli Bhasha, we call it Boli Bhasha, okay? People in Khandesh, they speak Ahirani, which is also a dialect of Marathi. People in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, they speak Varhadi, which is also a dialect of Marathi. So the same language is spoken in different ways, and these are called as dialects of the same language. So Ahirani, Varhadi, Malwani, Konkani, all these are all different dialects of Marathi. Okay children, so we just had a 15-minute slot here to do this lesson, but we have taken more than that time. So what we will do is, when we get a chance again next time, we will continue with this lesson and learn some more interesting things from the lesson. So today let us wind up here. So this is Shraddha teacher saying goodbye to you from the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika till we meet again.